Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Possibly the Call of Duty in the weirdest situation, but possibly one of the best.
Dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus that would ultimately change life as we know it.
COVID-19, that virus that locked down the U.S. and sent us home for 2 weeks, right? No, it was a year. Because of this, COD developers had to work from home and in social distance spaces. You can see this here. This was the main reason to the difference in quality in Cold War. When Warzone came along, the fast-paced battle royale set in a Call of Duty setting, gaming was changed. People were ready for something new from Call of Duty, and this was it. The battle royale people could play while they were stuck at home. When Cold War was integrated into Call of Duty, then came Rebirth Island. Rebirth Island was a even more fast-paced, I'll admit, sweaty and very fun map for good SMGs, snipers, whatever. Another big thing was content. People like Timmy, Nick Mercs, Courage, and even that guy from Fortnite, Cypher PK, played Warzone. Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. You either love it or you hate it. There's only one thing that's different with this game and the others. The clanky movement. Well, I don't think it's that clanky. It's really just arcadey and fun. I mean, the guns are great. You have a great selection of about 60 weapons from the Cold War era in the United States, Russia, and other countries, like the UK. And great selection of maps, really, that make you feel like you're actually in that Cold War setting, and funnier maps like the Pine Mall and stuff like that. This game was arcadey. It brought Call of Duty back to its roots. It wasn't all about modern warfare and combat, like modern combat ideas. It was arcadey. It was funny. It was fun to play. The sniping was great. The time to kill was great. As I said, the weapons were great. The attachments, not really that great, but still, they were older attachments. They're not going to be as good as newer ones. But because of the fact that Warzone was so much popular, people just decided not to play this and played Rebirth Island and Warzone. And so that caused, what would you do if you had something that was super popular and something that's less popular? You'd put the less popular thing to the side and push up the more popular thing and push work on it instead of the other thing. That's why not much work was done to multiplayer, but still a lot of work was done. Probably 15% of the maps in this game are Black Ops 2 maps, and that's cool that they bring back stuff like that people ask for. And another thing is the amount of just fun times I've had on this game. Like, the customization's nice, and it's just so fun to play. You can run around, hop on there, play a match, and then get off. You don't have to sit there for a whole eternity playing Battle Royale. And yes, I get it. It was such a massive change from Modern Warfare 2019, where you could slide around, jump around, and go crazy fast. It's a little slower pace, but it's more arcadey than Modern Warfare 2019, which I feel like that makes it better. Call of Duty is supposed to be arcadey. Let's think back to, like, World at War. That was so arcadey. They had just had, you got thrown in there with World War II weapons, and you were just jumping around shooting each other. Like, that's what this game is. You're thrown in there with Black Ops 1 weapons, basically, and just shoot each other. Like, that's what this game is. It's not modern combat Battlefield-like. And by saying this, I'm not hating on Battlefield. I love Battlefield. Battlefield 1 is like one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. I love that junk. Excuse me, I just coughed out my spleen anyways. I love Battlefield. It's great. So do I love, Modern Warfare 2019. That game is amazing. Warzone was fun. I used to play with the boys all the time. I'm not hating on these things. I'm just saying that I think Cold War deserved more, and I think if it did deserve more, it could have been one of the best Call of Duties of all time. And another, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Holy crap, I just stuttered so bad. Anyways, what I was getting on about there was, even though that Warzone was so much popular, and they did put more work into Warzone, they still put a lot of work into Cold War. You know how I said earlier they didn't put as much work? They didn't, but they still put a lot for, having it as like a deader game compared to Warzone. They still put so much into it. Every time they added a new gun, it was in there. Every time, even holy crap, excuse me, my kidney just fell out. Anyways, so even with that deficit of, we have a more popular game, let's work on that more, they still decided to work on Cold War a lot. And this led to a pretty successful game, and in my opinion, one of the better Call of Duties we've ever gotten in this recent era of Warzone. And it's definitely better than Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2. I don't know about Modern Warfare 19. I'm pretty sure both of these games are pretty on the same level, because those games are pretty great. And but Vanguard was just, oh god, it was terrible. So was Modern Warfare 2019. I should not have spent $100 getting the Vault Edition on that junk. That game was awful. Anyways, so this game in my opinion was great. I think I've talked enough about this and ranted enough about. Let's go to a different, more interesting topic, and let's talk about the campaign.
Mason.
Yeah, you're the expert in quiet.
I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. You should know that.
Black Ops Cold War's campaign. Now, this was something. I believe that this campaign was great, but there was a few things that got me. Number one, some of the characters were just kind of Like, they didn't put much potential into Woods and Mason as they did in the older games. And that kind of sucks because they could have been really good characters. Like, they didn't really have much voice in the game. Like, they just were kind of there. And Adler was really, like, the main character there. Adler was cool. The whole mind-boggling, mind confusion, you know the numbers, Mason, kind of crap it's cool. I think that the story was a little dumb at the end, how it was actually his thoughts. Sorry for spoilers, but it was like Adler's thoughts, and I just didn't really, it was but other than that, the campaign was great. I mean, there's cool missions, the setting was great, the cutscenes with Ronald Reagan and stuff were great, like the historical accuracy was pretty good, and yeah. Finally, zombies, what I've wanted to talk about this entire video. This game was great. The zombies in this game were great. They added many new features, and so many things to this game that just made it so good. And I think that if they had more maps, it'd be great, but let's just go over basically everything. So, they added a new perk system where you can upgrade your perks, then get them in the game, like, upgraded. They also added the skills thing where you can, get your little extra thing and, like, either Ring of Fire, which you can go in a Ring of Fire to make your damage stronger, or the poison one where it, like, poisons the zombies around you. They also added weapon modifications where you, like, can make your ammo fire or explode, or you can make it brain rot and change zombies into, like, good zombies, and they kill zombies for you. Another thing is the innovated, weapon system where you can load in with whatever gun you like. So you could load in with an assault rifle, you could load in with a shotgun, you could load in with an SMG, you could load in with a 1911. It does not matter. I think this is great, and let's go over the maps. The first map added to Cold War on the launch was Die Maschine. Die Maschine was a remake of the original Nacht der Toten, but it didn't feel like Nacht der Toten because you could go outside. There was a bunker that had Pack-a-Punch and power, and it was great. There was a new perk called Elemental Pop. This made you shoot a different element bullet every few bullets, and it was pretty good. Another thing is the Pack-a-Punch system. On this map, you could Pack-a-Punch 3 times. One being, the basic Pack-a-Punch. Second being double pap. Third being, the best. And this map was really cool. It had new boss zombie. It had this poison zombie thing where you would split in half when you killed him, and then you killed those, and you would get a card. This card could be used to get the Wonder Weapon. The Wonder Weapon was really cool. You could upgrade it elementally. You're noticing a trend. There's a lot of elemental things in this game for some reason. I don't really know why, but I guess it's like the easiest route to go. Another thing is this map also had a new system where you could go into the dark aether to do quests and stuff. It also told you where to go, so you didn't have to look up a YouTube tutorial every 5 seconds. This really helped me and a lot of people, and some parts were a little undescriptive, but that added to the mystery. Now let's talk about the next map, Firebase Z. This map, it was not as good as people anticipated, but it was still great. I mean, it came out like 3 months after the launch of Cold War, so it was long anticipated. There's these new things called mimics, and they would just actually assault you every time you saw one, and they would spawn underneath weapons and like on the floor. You'd pick them up, and there, he's got you. And there was a new story, a new Ray K-47. It's like a ray gun AK. It's pretty cool. Other than that, there wasn't really much on that map. Like every 5 rounds, there was like a battle zone thing, or you'd fight off zombies and have like airstrikes. I don't know. It was confusing. But let's go to the next map, Mauer der Toten. This map was interesting. This is the one in the gameplay. It's set at the Berlin Wall. I don't know much about this map. This is like the one I've least played, but I decided to put that on there because it was the most interesting, really. Because it had the boss zombie dude who was like the skeleton skull dude. He was pretty cool. You had to kill him to get Pack-a-Punch activated. And the Panzers came back. New wonder weapon. The whatever I can't remember. It's called CBR or something like that. It's like the ray gun, but smaller and more automatic. I think I can't remember. It's cool. I'm trying to think. There's also the trains. Gotta watch out so you can see those there. And that's about it on this map. It's cool. I think they added Mule Kick on this map. You can see it right behind me there. But I think that's it on this map. The final map, which there was only 4 maps, was kind of sad. Forsaken, it added the creature thing with the 3 heads. Here, I'll just show a picture of it now. Look at him, what a cutie. Kind of looks like Kim Kardashian. Anyways, so he would get you every few rounds, and to turn the power on, you had to kill him. He's pretty cool. He's like a one of the things from Shadows of Evil. Other than that, that's about it. They added a wonder weapon called, I can't remember, it's the something axe, like the Forsaken axe or something like that. It also turned into an SMG, which is just a remodeled Pack-a-Punch. What's that gun called? MAC-10. Other than that map was kind of interesting. It was like a, how do I say this? Like a Russian facility. It's supposed to like look like the basic American town to train for Russian soldiers, I guess. I didn't mention, but the Firebase Z one it's in Vietnam. And other than that, there's really not much more than that. I mean, the maps are interesting, but then they attempted something. The open world idea of Outbreak. Outbreak was like an open world mission area where there was zombies, and you would go in there, and there was multiple maps. You could either exfil at the end, or you could go to a new one, and it was interesting. I never really got into it. I played it once or twice. They tried the open world thing. In my opinion, it didn't really work. We'll see how that goes in Modern Warfare 3, but other than that wraps up Zombies. In my opinion, this was a great game for Zombies. All the new features they added and everything. The maps were really cool. And the fact that, you had to do more things to activate things instead of just go run in a room, turn on the power, Pack-a-Punch, and sit in a corner the whole time. It was interesting. I feel like this game was really cool, and I think that the new features really helped it. And I think that'll wrap up this video, folks. For my first video, rate how I did. Put in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and it's been Gray Speaks out. Thank you.